Okay, I'm going off the cuff with this one, but I've been thinking about this the last couple of days. And one of the biggest things that has changed my life is structure. Structure, routine, but most of all, frameworks. So, frameworks to build that structure for my life. And I've got an overarching framework. See, if you don't have structure or frameworks in your life, you're leaving so much money on the table. Because if you don't have a framework for how you or when you get your admin stuff done, you're leaving money on the table. And I see it all the time, especially with men. If you don't have a framework for how you run your life, how do you know what to do next, where to go next? So I've got a framework for my whole life. I'll show you. There's not a lot of room on this whiteboard, but I'm going to use the whiteboard, what space I've got left on it. So this is the brains of the whole operation. Get yourself a whiteboard. Now, this whiteboard faces my bed, so it's the first thing I see when I wake up in the morning. I can see it from my bed, so I can plan from my bedroom. My desk is right here, so I've got everything right behind me. Everything happens in this room, and it's such a simple, easy setup. But get a whiteboard, because I've got my KFAs, my key focus areas, so this is what I'm working on for the year, or for the month it is. I've got my rules for life, I've got financial tracking, I've got my to-do list over this side, my immediate to-do list, and then I've got my workout routine over here, and then I've got like all my calendars and planning. So I've got a monthly calendar, which I set an intention for, and a weekly planner, and then this is normally for notes and current projects that I'm working on. But I've cleared the space for this little exercise. Now I've got a framework, right? I've got a framework for how I run my life. Within that framework, this is how I run my life. This is my framework. It's just a simple, really easy approach to how my life runs. And it's a filter, it's a way of looking at things, it's a way of seeing life and how I get things done and how I achieve and progress and avoid procrastination, basically. Within this framework, I've got another framework. So this framework here will be how I plan my goals, how I split my year up. So that falls within this framework. This is how I split my year up, and my year is split into 4 quadrants. Basically, is basically the crux of how I run it. And then there's goals that are set in those frameworks, in that structure. Now within that, I've got other little frameworks for how I run my days and how I break my days up. Within that, there's frameworks for so I've got my day. So I'll give you an example. I've got my dailies. I call it my dailies. I've got a morning routine and a night routine. Within that morning and night routine, I can set whatever I want. So I've got from 5 to 7 a.m. is my dailies, and that is, at the moment, it's meditation, gratitude journaling, a run, a workout, making my bed, breakfast, all that sort of stuff, and that falls within these 2 hours. I can switch that out. So if I am lightening up on the workouts, which I'm doing at the moment, I'm switching from 6 days a week to 3 days a week and just experimenting with some stuff there. So I switch out the workouts. So 2 days a week in these 4 days a week in these dailies, I don't have that workout in there anymore, so I can switch that out. So I switch that out for working on my business goals, working on some money, or getting housework done. Maybe I'll do 10-20 minutes of housework in that time, and then I'm in a clean environment all the time because 4 days a week I'm doing housework, and I've switched that out. So in my daily framework, in this little framework, I can switch things out, and within this little framework, I've got systems. So there's systems and routines for how I achieve things. So there's systems. So I've got a framework for my shopping. So my shopping might be on a Sunday, or my admin days are on a Sunday. So that's when I do all my invoicing. That's when I do all the pays, and I do all the consolidation and social media marketing and all that sort of stuff. So that falls within a Sunday. So within that, I might do, so at the moment it's reflections and journaling, it's invoicing and admin, and it's social media stuff and planning for the week. So that's my structure, my framework for a Sunday. That's my admin structure. That's when I get all my admin stuff done. I'm paying bills and all that sort of stuff. So I've got admin in here as well. So I can switch that out. If I don't have any invoicing to do, I can push up and do more admin time. So I might pay some bills. I might renew registrations online or look at courses, or I might do some investment research, and I can switch all that out. So it's all frameworks. So within those frameworks, so that's my admin framework. Then I've got my meal prepping and shopping framework, which happens, that's on a Monday. Within that, there's a system for how I do my shopping, how I get my shopping done. So I've got groceries coming in and my meal prep. So that's all done in here. Then I've got frameworks for how I did the goals already, but how all that structure gets set into the calendar so I know what I'm doing. So then within the framework of my life, you start to get some structure and routine, and it starts to build a bit of a scaffold for your life and how you're going to get things done and how you want to do things. And then when you get lost in life and you think, what do I do next? What do I do now? Well, you've got a framework to fall back on. And you say, okay, well, I'm a bit lost. So at the moment, I've achieved so many goals so quickly. I'm at a bit of a loss right now. I'm like, what do I do next? Where do I go from here? What do I do? Well, I can fall on my frameworks. I can fall back on them. And I've got a framework for how I set my goals, because that falls within my life. And then I know that my goals, they're going to be, I've got my overarching goals over the top of everything. And I'm going to say, I'll clear this off, because that's a whole other framework. So this is how you start building structure into your life, right? So I've got my overarching goals. So that's my 5 5-year goals, or it's basically 5 year. And then under that, I've got my 1 year goals. But then within this framework and structure that I've got in my life, because I've broken my life up into this framework, I know I've got monthly goals as well. So all I really have to concentrate on, because I've got these goals already set, I'm already working towards them, these 5 years and 1 year goals. And whether I hit them or not, that's not really the point of setting a goal. I just realized that's all backwards. Sorry about that. That's not really the point of goals. Goals is for one thing. This is what your goals are for. This is why you set goals. You probably know what I'm going to say. It's backwards. I'll fix that up in post. We'll get it in post. Direction. That's it. That's why you set your goals. You might not hit them. And in fact, when I hit my goals, it kind of sucks. I get to a point where I hit my goal and I go, oh, now I've got to think of another goal. Now I've got to aim even higher. Now I've got to be even more than I'm being now. That's so much work. What am I going to do? What do I do now? And so your goals aren't about the goals. They're about the process that you become as you head in that direction. You have all these little steps. So you learn how to run a business. You learn, and you have all these failures along the way. And you will fail. You'll have missteps and mistakes. And you know the funny thing about a mistake is it's a missed take. It's a take that you took that you missed, which means do another take. Have another go. Mistake. It's just a missed take. That's all it is. Start again. Action. So it's your goals are about who you become along the way on that direction. So I've got a structure for how I set my goals. So I've got my 5 year goals, my monthly goals. So the point of that whole rant that whole direction was, when you don't know where you want to go, you can fall back on your frameworks and figure it out, because you know you've got this set structure in your life. So you just do more of that, but on a bigger scale, or not on a bigger scale. Because what you can do with frameworks is, you know you're working within this framework. And you know that this is what you're doing because you've set it all out. This is just how your life runs now. And within that framework, you've got all your systems and routines that you do. So every day I get up and I run. I go for a run, or sometimes it's just a walk, but it's high. I do high intensity training, which is way better than running flat out. But anyway, so every day I know I do that, and I know at 5 o'clock I get up and I go for a run, or 4:30 I get up and then 5 o'clock I go for a run. So that's just what I do every day. So if I'm lost and I don't know what I want to do, or I don't know what the next goal is yet, which is kind of where I'm at right now. I'm not sure what the next intermediate goal is, because I've got my overarching goals. What's my next intermediate goal? And it'll come. But in the meantime, I've got my structure to fall back on. So if I just be consistent with what I'm doing, I'll still achieve, I'll still win, because I've already got these things in place. And then once you've got all these things in place, you start to get momentum. And all you need to do to maintain that momentum is just have consistency, so that you're constantly moving upwards. You're constantly getting better. With my workouts, I'm constantly getting stronger. With my runs, my lap time is slowly coming down. My workouts and my fitness is always getting better. My finances are going up constantly. And all I have to do is just be consistent with what I'm doing, because I've got these systems for how I run my business, how I do my social media marketing, and how I do my networking and relationships and all that sort of stuff. That's all humming now. I've spent a couple of years really honing in on those key focus areas in my life. And so if I do nothing now except be consistent with what I've been doing, I'm still achieving, because I've built this structure and these frameworks over my whole life. And it encapsulates everything in my life. So I know what I need to do to feed myself. I know what I need to do to work out, when I need to work out, when I need to prepare my food, when I'm going to work. And that's all in this calendar. It's all mapped out here, so I don't even have to remember it. And people ask me, oh, are you free on this? What are you doing next week? What are you doing next month? I don't know. It's in my calendar. Let me have a look, because I don't have to remember it. There's no point, because it's all in here. And this is why I keep it, so I don't have to remember it. So I know that every time, so I know exactly what I'm doing every day. And this is just a simple version. This is just the big events of my calendar. This is just the big stuff that's going on that I need to know about. So my work and my workouts, and when I spend time with the family, and jobs that I've got going on, and then there's different. So I've even built a framework and a system for how I do my calendaring. And then my electronic calendar in my phone is got everything in it, so I can see exactly what's going on for the whole day. That's pretty much it. Build a framework for your life. If you want help, reach out. I spend a lot of time on this, and it's something that I'm really passionate about, because it will change your life. 100%. This will make a massive difference in your life, just having structure and routine. And a lot of people don't. They don't have structure. They don't have routine. They don't know what their goals are. They don't know how their life is structured. So you just need to build frameworks for your life, and it does take a while, and it does take a lot of trial and error. My systems, my frameworks, they still move all the time. And I'm still constantly, I've been tweaking my workout routine, been focusing on that for the last 2 months. That's a key focus area there. So this is part of the structure as well. So this is part of the accountability structure. How do you stay accountable to your KFAs? So if you want some help, reach out, get in touch. I'll give you a hand. I'll have a chat. But have a look at it, because it's something that will definitely make a big difference in your life. I'll see you in the next one.